Hi everyone, I'm Flavia and welcome to my happy space. So this is the room where I craft as well as where I record videos for YouTube and take pictures of my projects so I can post them on social media. And today in this video I will give you a tour at my craft room, and as I do so, I will be sharing some organization solutions and storage ideas for small spaces in hopes that some of this information is helpful to you. I really enjoy watching craft room tour videos on YouTube and I have always wanted to record my own, so today is the day. Another reason why I decided to hurry up and record this video is because this is a very special place to me, and very soon I will be moving my craft room to another space at our home, so I really wanted to have footage of my first craft room. By the way, before we begin, know that as I record this video on the first floor of our home, my amazing husband is actually working upstairs on the third floor, assembling some IKEA furniture for my new craft room, so I want to apologize in advance in case you can hear some background noise. So without further ado, let's get started. So my craft room is actually pretty small, which I love because everything is actually within hand's reach, which is amazing. Because this is a very small space and I do not have enough room for big furniture with drawers, most of my storage solution is on shelves that I have on the wall on my right and on the wall on my left, which is where I have my workstation as well. And then right in front of me is a pretty nice window, and behind we have two closets. This large one, this big one, and a smaller one. So the big closet, however, I actually cannot use because my craft room is actually inside the furnace room in our house. So here we have all of the cooling and heating system, so it only looks nice on the outside. However, I still have a very small closet over here, and that's where we're gonna begin. So here we have the smaller closet, and before we take a look inside, I actually want to show you that this is the door to my craft room, and behind this door I have attached some magnetic sheets that I believe I bought from Home Depot. They are pretty large, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets that I taped together with command strips so I can easily remove it without damaging the paint on the door. And this was my first storage solution for metal plates. So here I keep all of my most used basic shaped die plates that I can easily grab whenever I need die cut and easily put it back. So let's now take a look inside this closet. Just a heads up, this is not the prettiest section in my craft room. However, it is very functional because I have organized my supplies inside this closet in such a way that I can actually see everything that I have, which allows me to actually use my supplies more often. So on the two last shelves inside this closet, I only have shelves inside this closet, by the way. So on the last two, I keep my least used supplies and machines, such as my sewing machine and my silhouette machine. Then right here on the third shelf, I actually have some of the supplies that I use more often, and that is why it is within hand's reach. It is not sorted out, however, because I can see everything that I have, I can quickly find what I need. So here I just have random stuff, such as some small 6x6 paper pads. I also keep my 12x12 cardstock pages over here, and then I just have random stuff such as watercoloring paint. Then right over here I keep some of these clear plastic pockets, and I like it because it's clear so I can see what's inside, and it has a zipper on top so we can zip it up and take it to go. And inside these clear pockets I actually store the leftover pieces of my pattern paper that I can use on new projects, and I try to keep them sorted out by either color or theme. Here I have animal prints, and since I love making note cards for the holidays, here I keep all of my Christmas themed paper scraps. I also have what else? Just random stuff like pink pattern paper or Easter themed. So this is how I store my leftover pieces of pattern paper that I can use on new projects and keep them from going to waste. So moving on to the next shelf, here I have 4 acrylic boxes, and inside this first one I keep all of the birthday note cards that I have created and need to mail to friends and family members. Then inside this one I keep all of my Spellbinders 2025 subscription clubs, and inside these 2 last boxes I keep all of my Christmas themed craft supplies such as dies, stamps, hot foil plates, and betta press plates. By the way, to keep all of the supplies inside these acrylic boxes organized, I have actually created a few more dividers to keep them sorted out. So for example, for the Spellbinders Clubs box, inside I have dividers for each month so I can easily find the supplies that I need. So that is that. Now we're gonna move on to the next shelf down here. So down here on my right we have a few more of those clear plastic pockets with a zipper on top, and right here I store some of my clear bags that I use to store my note cards when I am all done, so they can be kept nice and protected from dust and any other damage. So I have a few different sizes of clear bags to store my note cards, such as A2 size. Then I have some more over here for A7 size note cards, and you can even find A1 bags, the smaller one for A1 size note cards. I don't use this one as often. And we can also find clear bags for our slimline size note cards. And aside from my clear plastic bags, I also have a few other random stuff over here, such as tissue paper, masking paper, pieces of clear acetate, and so on. Then right here in the middle I have my big roll of the Elizabeth Craft Designs double-sided tape, and in the back I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 more at the bottom, large containers. This is where I store my most used embossing powders, and inside each one of these plastic containers I actually keep a spoon to make it easier for me to actually use these supplies. Then right here on this side I have this organizer that I got from Amazon. I think it's meant to be used in the kitchen to store your spices or something like that, but I use it in the craft room. And I just have just random stuff, such as my cleaning supplies, extra adhesive, press and seal, I keep it down here, and a few other sprays in the back. And then over here hanging I have my Distress Oxide ink swatches that I can easily just grab it and bring it to my workstation whenever I need it. Moving on to the last shelf here, actually in front of the last shelf I have this cart that I always roll out whenever I need to reach for something down here, but I usually keep stuff that I don't use as often, such as extra cardstock and gloves, wax paper, and a few more embossing powder over there. Now I am going to roll this out of my closet so I can show you what I keep on this white cart. Actually, before I show you the stuff that I keep on the cart that I just rolled out of my closet, I want to show you how I store some of my sticky mats, which is on the wall. So using command strip, I have actually taped a hook onto this wall, and I perforated each one of these mats right in the center so I could hang it onto this wall inside the closet. So it is not the prettiest, however, it is inside the closet, so if I don't want to see this, I just close this closet door. So let's now move on to the cart that was inside this closet. So I purchased this cute little white cart from the Container Store, and on the top section I actually keep all of my Copic markers along with the Copic markers refills inside this tissue box. And to keep them all organized and standing up straight so I can easily find the color that I need, I actually purchased this organizer from Etsy. which is pretty helpful. And I can always take it out, bring it to my station if I want to, and then put it right back in. Moving on to the second tier, here I have some supplies that I keep organized and sorted out by using these plastic boxes that I also got from the Container Store that is meant to be used with these cards. So these are just accessories for these cards, and they have a few other ones in different sizes. So inside this container I keep some of my watercoloring supplies, such as this container, some paint over here, and some fancy brushes. This is a technique that I'm not really good at, but since I haven't given up yet, I keep this over here so I can have it off easy access whenever I want to give it a try again. Then on this second box, I'm not gonna take it out because it's just too much trouble. I have a large bottle of alcohol that I use to clean up some of my supplies, except for clear stamps. You're not supposed to use alcohol with those. And I also keep some of my cleaning cloths over here. So moving on to the last tier of this cart, here to keep all of my supplies sorted out and organized, I actually use these narrow containers, also from the Container Store, meant to be used with this cart, and inside I can fit 4 of these narrow containers. And over here in the back, inside this first one, I keep all of my photo paper. They all can go in here. Then moving on to the second container, here I have all of my extra panels. So whenever I am creating a note card and I am doing a fun technique such as hot foiling or dry embossing, I usually end up with more panels than what I need, and this is where the extra panels go. Also, if I am trying a new technique such as watercoloring that I know I'm not good at, and if I end up not liking the panel, instead of throwing it away, I just place it in this container because I know that in the future I might look at it with different eyes and end up using that panel even though I didn't like it at first. So this is where I keep all of my panels, and this is my way of trying to not let too much paper go into waste. So here are my extra panels. So if I am in a hurry creating note cards and I need a quick background panel, I come to this box because I know I will find something useful here. Then the next container is actually ready to go card bases. So whenever I lose my creative mojo, I need something easy to do in the craft room to get me back on track. And creating basic card bases is something that helps me with that. So whenever I am in this weird state in my craft room, I usually come over here to this box with just random panels and glue them to card bases. So here I have ready to go note cards that just need a scene, a die cut element, and a sentiment. So these are the note cards that I have created using the panels that I showed you in the previous box. And moving on to the last container. By the way, this is an electric pencil sharpener, and I just keep it over here with my card bases. So here in this container, this is a very useful one, because whenever I am watching a tutorial video of a card maker that I love watching, such as Jennifer Maguire, Yanis Makula, Bibi Cameron, and so many others, whenever they come up with a fun card shape design, instead of saving that video so I can watch it later to remember how to make that note card, I actually take notes and create a prototype, and I keep all of them over here. So for example, this fun-shaped note card is The Center Stage by Jennifer Maguire, and as I was watching her video, I wrote down the step-by-step, and this is how it goes. So I find that it is easier for me and quicker when I am creating if I just come over here to these notes and follow this step by step, instead of having to find the video and watch the video again online to be able to recreate their card designs. So I have another one by Jennifer Maguire, another center stage card that opens like so, and this is probably another one from her. So here inside this box I keep all of the different fun shaped card bases that I can always reach to and find the step-by-step guide. This is another one, the pull tab, probably by Jennifer Maguire, and inside I have all of the notes written, the step-by-step. So I think that this is very helpful. So this is all that I have inside this small closet, and now I'm gonna turn the camera and show you the other side of my craft room. So now we are in the opposite side of my craft room. Behind me I have this really nice window. It's very cloudy outside, so you cannot really see anything, and because I have this privacy film on my window, usually the birds and the squirrels get really close to my window, which is pretty fun when I am crafting. So I'm just gonna close this since there is nothing to see outside. So right here on my right I have this long desk. It's pretty old. I think I got it from Walmart or something. It's nothing fancy, but it does its job. So this is the space where I create, record videos, make note cards, take pictures. I do everything over here. Above this table I have 3 more shelves. And then on my left, I have a few more shelves and many different storage solutions that I want to share with you. And then actually behind me, I have another cart, same as the one inside. The only difference is that for this one, I actually purchased the top, so I can use the top of this one as a desk. So this is where I keep my laptop when I am not recording a video. So actually let's begin by going over this card, then I'm gonna show you everything that I have on this wall, and then last but not least, this station. So even though this is a very small space, I was able to maximize it as much as I could, and I just have a lot of stuff inside this room. You guys have no idea. However, because I keep it very organized, it's very easy for me to find what I need, see most of the supplies that I have, and actually use what I have. So because there is not a lot of room between this wall, these shelves, and my table, I just didn't have enough room for a big piece of furniture with drawers, which is what I really wanted. I don't have a lot of drawers solution in this room because there is no room to be pulling them out open. So for the first tier of this cart, I decided to actually purchase this other accessory, which is a lid for this first one. So inside this first tier, I actually keep some not so pretty supplies, which is actually everything related to video recording and photography, such as my Canon camera, some microphone and lenses, random cables, and just random stuff. So everything that is not so pretty stays hidden inside this first tier. Then moving on to the second tier of this cart, here I have a big container with my Spellbinders cardstock. So I cut my Spellbinders cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I keep them all sorted out by color. And whenever I am creating projects for Spellbinders, or whenever I want to use their beautiful color of cardstock, I just bring this whole container to my desk. When I'm done, I just drop it right back where it belongs. Then right here in the middle, I have this narrow container, and here I have pieces of paper from magazines and stuff like that I am trying to recycle. And inside this container I also keep some manuals for the machines that I have. I also have a few mats for the die cutting machines. I also keep my Concord N9F turnabout jig, and the reason why I keep it over here is because I also keep my stamping tool over here. My stick mat I keep inside this container as well. And then on this right side of my cart, there are no containers, and this section is where I keep some of my tools and plates So here I have a small paper trimmer. Then I have my Spellbinders universal plate system. I also have my scoring board, the mini one, and my mini Misty stamping one. And then in the back I have another paper trimmer. So that's it for the second tier of this cart. So moving on to the last tier of this cart, here I keep 2 of the large containers, and this one is designated for the new mail that I need to open. So for example, here I have a happy mail from Spellbinders that I need to open, get organized, and plan a project with these supplies. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I am crazy about Spellbinders. I really love their products. And for the last few years, they have been reaching out, offering me products so I can work with them as a designer, which is so much fun, and I really love and appreciate the opportunity. And next to this Happy Mail container, we have another one, and here is where I store some of the note cards that I have created. And again, I always make sure when I am all done to store them all inside a clear plastic sleeve to keep them nice and protected from dust. So actually inside this box I have my most recent creations, and to make some of these note cards I actually used the Spellbinders, some of the Spellbinders November 2025 subscription clubs, which are absolutely adorable. Isn't this cute? I mean, seriously, I just had a blast creating these note cards. So this is one storage solution for the note cards that I create. The main thing is to always keep them inside a clear plastic bag so nothing bad happens to them. So this is my little workstation that I have between the 2 walls in my craft room. So let's now move on to the side of my craft room with the most shelves. So when I am crafting over here on my workstation, behind me is this wall that contains 6 metal shelves. They are about 12 inches wide, and some of them have different lengths. And on the top shelf I keep 5 gray boxes that I purchased from Amazon, and I have 3 more on this side. And inside these boxes I store random supplies, and some of them are not related to crafting. Moving on to the next shelf, here I keep some of my crafting supplies inside these paper boxes that I got from Michaels, I believe. I think they are called photo boxes, and I got them in 2 different designs with the same color combo, black, white, and gold. So this is a little bit too high for me, but if I get on my tiptoes, I can actually reach them. So inside these boxes, I store my crafting supplies that can actually fit inside these boxes. And I have a few more of these boxes down here that I'm gonna show you in a second. So all of these boxes have label at the front that I printed and laminated, so I can easily figure out where everything is at and only grab the box that I need. So inside this first box I keep my sewing supplies, then I have 1 box for my grommets kit, then inside this one I keep the fuse tool, then inside this box I keep my Ranger alcohol inks, then I have 1 box for my extra foil rolls by Spellbinders. I also have 1 box designated for the ink refills. Over here I keep some extra envelopes. I actually have 2 boxes designated for extra envelopes, and over here I have my Silhouette machine accessories. And for these 2 last boxes I actually want to show you inside. So this is one of the 2 boxes that I have designated for storing my ink blending tools that I keep up there. And whenever I am creating with Ranger Distress Oxide ink pads and need my ink blending brushes, I just go ahead and bring this whole box to my workstation. And inside these boxes I actually added these plastic dividers that I purchased from Amazon. These are very inexpensive and you can customize them by simply cutting it to size with a pair of scissors. And since I have one ink blending tool for each color of ink pad that I have, it is very important for me to have a designated space for each one of them so they do not contaminate each other. So I really like this storage solution. And inside each section, I don't know if you can see, but I have actually added the label, the name of each color, so I can easily put them back where they belong without staining each other. So moving on to the next shelf, here I store most of my 8.5 by 11 inches cardstock, and I tried to sort them out by type, by thickness, or by brand, and then by color, so I can have this very beautiful rainbow inside my craft room. So right here next to the wall I have the lightweight cardstock, then I have all of my specialty glitter cardstock, which I love, and then I have lots of metallic cardstock such as holographic, gold and silver. Then I have the blue shades of cardstock from various brands, greens, reds, purple, pinks, orange, yellow, browns and whites, different thickness of cardstock for the white and the black as well. And right over here, these are all of my Spellbinders cardstock, and I have sorted them out kind of by color to make a really nice rainbow over here with the Spellbinders cardstock. By the way, I keep all of my different colors of cardstock inside this clear plastic that I purchased from Amazon, and inside these plastic holders I keep not only the cardstock but also the label, so I know which color of cardstock I am using. And to keep these standing up nice and straight, I actually keep these plastic pockets inside these magazine holders, which is pretty helpful. So I have lots of these plastic magazine holders throughout this section to help me keep all of my cardstock nice and straight. So moving on, but still on the same shelf, half of this shelf is the colored cardstock that I just showed you, and the other half is where I store some random crafty supplies inside these clear acrylic boxes. I got this from Amazon. These are actually shoe boxes, and I love it because it's clear so you can see what's inside, and it has a lid to protect your supplies from dust. However, because I wanted to hide the messy supplies inside, I decided to add a piece of laminated cardstock at the front, but just know that these are clear boxes. And even though they don't have labels, because I only have a few of these boxes and I always keep them in the exact same spot, I always know what's inside, so I don't really need labels for these boxes. So inside it's not really organized, I just have random stuff. So inside this one, the first one, I have deco foil rolls. Then inside this second box I have some mixed media tools such as a few brayers and this sticky silicone mat. Then moving on to the third box, inside this one I keep all of my stitching supplies, and inside this clear box I actually keep this container, this organizer, and this is where I keep all of my DMC thread along with a few needles over here. Then inside the fourth clear container here I have some big and heavy tools such as this perforator, and I also have my sticker maker over here. Then moving on to the second last acrylic box, this is the most used. So this box is where I keep all of the things that I need to keep my supplies organized, labeled and organized. Not only craft supplies, but also kitchen supplies. So inside I have my label maker, one label maker, the P-Touch by the Brother P-Touch. I also keep inside some label paper rolls for this other label maker that I got from Amazon. I actually use this one to label stuff in my pantry, in my kitchen. And inside I also have lots of these Avery Elle clear pockets with pieces of cardstock inside. This is what I use to store most of my stamps and die sets, as well as hot foil sets. And I also keep inside this box some pieces of magnetic sheets that I usually glue them to the piece of cardstock that goes inside the pocket, and this is how I store my die sets. This way they always stay in its place and I can clearly see all of the plates that I have. And last but not least, inside this 5th clear shoebox, I keep lots of these plastic bags. Usually when we buy a stamp or die set, they come inside bags like this, and instead of throwing them away, I just throw them inside this box, and whenever I need a large clear bag, I just reuse these. So let's now move on to my most used shelf. So over this shelf I have a couple of acrylic boxes that I got from Amazon. This one do not have a lid, and this is where I store most of my stamp sets, die sets, hot foil sets, beta press sets, as well as stencils and embossing folders. Most of these supplies are over here of easy access. And above these boxes, attached to the wall, I have 3 of these ink pad organizers that I purchased from Amazon. And I really love being able to see all of the different colors that I have and being able to quickly and easily grab what I need and bring to my workstation. And then down here at the end of this shelf I have my big paper trimmer by Tonic Studio. Because I use this all the time, I really wanted this to have its designated space, so it's always out and ready to be used. So even though this is not perfect because the paper trimmer is wider than the shelf, I can use it just fine, so I don't really mind it. So before we move on to the next shelf, I actually want to show you how I keep all of my supplies inside these boxes sorted out. So at the front I have a panel, a dark pink panel that I laminated, and they have labels to indicate the type of supply that I have inside the box. So for example, for this one, inside this box I have stamps, and then inside I have divided my stamps by theme and then by brand. So for my background stamps, for example, I have Concord and Ineth background stamps all over here. I also have Simon Says Stamp background stamps all sorted out over here, and miscellaneous. And then the next one is characters, and then the next one is greeters, congrats, and so on. And all of the dividers are organized by alphabet order. Then moving on to the next 2 boxes, I have more stamps over here, sorted out by type and then by brand. All the way in the back, because I only have a few press plates, that's where I keep my press plates. This container is designated for storing my embossing folders, and they are also sorted out by theme, such as birthday, the diffusers, embossing folders, and random elements and patterns. Then moving on, inside this box I have my die plates, and they are also sorted out by theme and maybe by brand. In the back I keep all of my stencils, and they are all sorted out by theme, such as animals, birthdays, Christmas, elements, random patterns, and so on. And usually I have extra laminated panels in the back ready to go for the next time I need to add a different section. inside these boxes. Then over here I have all of my Spellbinders dies. Because I create a lot for Spellbinders, I keep all of their supplies sorted out so I can easily find what I need to create for Spellbinders. So inside the Spellbinders box, I have all of the dies, and they are sorted out by theme or collections, such as the BB's Butterflies, Build a House collection, Build a Reef collection, then borders and frames all in one place, and so on. And now we can go over the last two boxes that I have down here next to my paper trimmer. So here I have more of Spellbinders die sets, again sorted out by theme, and over here I have my hot foil plates, and in the back I have the Spellbinders stamps, and again sorted out by theme. Moving on to the second last shelf, here on this corner I keep my beautiful Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine along with my mini LaserJet printer. I also have some markers in the back and a few souvenirs that I got from my last trip to Brazil when we visited the state of Bahia. I also have some of my swatches over here for Distress Oxide ink pads, and as I mentioned before, I have a few more boxes over here where I keep some of my most used supplies. So for example, inside this first box, this is where I keep my white card bases, and they are all sorted out inside by size. So we have A7 size in the back, A2 split gate fold, A2 top folding, A2 side folding, A1, and then at the front I also like to keep some of my pre-cut white panels, and I do think that this definitely makes the process easier, having card bases ready to go and a few panels pre-cut. I also keep my Spellbinders Beta Press panels over here of easy access. So all of my card bases and pre-cut panels go inside this first box, and the next one is where I store my envelopes, some of my envelopes, A2 size envelopes and A10 size envelopes. This third box is also designated for storing envelopes, A7 size envelopes, and maybe a few square ones. The next box is designated for storing my pastes. So inside this box I have pastes and some scrapers over here. Moving on to the last two boxes, here I have a box designated for storing my ribbons, and I keep them all organized like so. By the way, there are no organizers inside. And last but not least, this is where I keep all of my Spellbinders wax seal related supplies. So for example, inside I have some stickers, and then I have my warmer. A few of the stamps are over here. Inside this brown box I have the candles, and over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these plastic organizers that I got from Spellbinders, and I use one of these to store my wax beads. And I also have my mat over here, and one of these containers I use to store the wax seals that are ready to go, along with a few more over here and the pens that we can use to add accents to the wax seals. So everything that is related to the wax sealing technique I keep inside this last box. And since we are all the way down here, I might as well show you what I keep stored inside this cart. So on the top I have placed these plastic hanging file holders that I got from Amazon. And inside this first one, I actually keep my Copic markers swatches, and aside from this one, everything else I use to store pieces of deco foil. So all of these plastic holders have labels on the top left corner, and I have also added pieces of foil on the top, so they all have swatches on top, so I can quickly find the piece of foil that I'm looking for. Actually, since this was my first foil storage solution, at the front I actually have labels indicating whether it is foil meant for the hot foiling technique with a hot foiling machine, and then I have other ones that actually have no label, which means that it is deco foil meant to be used with a laminated and not a hot foiling machine. So notice here that they all have swatches on top, which is pretty helpful. So this was actually my first organization solution for foil, and I still like it, but I have a few other different ones that I like just as much. And then down here we have 3 drawers filled with die cut pieces. Usually when I am die cutting, if it's an element that I know I will be using a lot to make note cards for different occasions, I die cut lots of pieces so I can have extras that I can use on future note cards. I like having die cut pieces ready to go. Sometimes it makes the creative process definitely easier. However, at least for me, there is no point of die cutting lots of pieces if later I'm gonna be making difficult for me to find what I need by not keeping them organized or sorted out. So inside this first drawer, I keep all of my die cut pieces organized by either keeping them inside these clear plastic organizers or inside these very lightweight plastic trays that I am recycling. I got this when I purchased manicotti pasta. They all came in these trays. That's why it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sections, and each box that I bought came with 2 of these trays. The only thing with these is that they are very lightweight, so they can break easily, but I love because I can just as easily stack them up and keep all of the different die cut pieces from the same set sorted out. So I really like this. So here I have lots of just random flowers and leaves, die cut pieces, and it's just like basic stuff that I can easily use over and over again to create note cards for different occasions. Then if we move on to the second drawer, here I have more flowers and leaves die cut pieces, and on this side I have these very small square trays that I can stack up. I also have a long one down here that is empty, and again lots of those trays, plastic trays that I am recycling, and they are all stacked up. So as you can see here, I can fit many of these, but again, the only thing is I have to be very careful handling these trays because they are very lightweight. So moving on to the last one. So here I have only these acrylic trays that I got either from Amazon or the Container Store. So on this side I have this very narrow and long one, and I can stack 2 of these. And on this side I have a few of these small square ones. I can stack them up if I need to, but over here I don't have to. So inside these long ones I keep my cardstock strips that I die cut using some metal plates by Simon Says Stamp. I use cardstock strips a lot to decorate the flap of my envelopes to make them match the note cards. So once in a while, when I have lots of cardstock scraps, I usually cut them into cardstock strips, and I try to keep them sorted out by color. So here I have all of my silver and holographic cardstock strips. Here I have the different tones of blue cardstock strips, then reds and black over here. I have my pinks in one container, greens, different shades of purple, and then glitter, and so on. And then over here I have a few random beautiful die cut blooms and a few die cuts that I created using some sets by Spellbinders. So this is one storage solution for my extra die cut pieces. Moving on, next to the file cart that I just showed you, I have my Spellbinders 2025 Crafty Advent Calendar that I can't wait to create with, and I'm keeping that now over this very cute heater that my husband got me for Christmas. It is the cutest thing ever, and it really helps keeping this room warm and cozy when it's cold outside. Next to my fireplace, I have a slightly shorter shelf, and here I have two of these acrylic storage solution with pull-out drawers. So over here on top of these acrylic organizers, I have some of my Auto-New ink blending brushes. They have these really nice holders, so I like keep them on display. I think it looks very cute. Then on the first drawer, I have some of my Auto-New Crisp Dye ink, the mini version. They are all in this drawer and in this second drawer. And I love that I can easily just grab the whole thing and bring it to my desk when I need to use these inks. Inside the third drawer, I have some of my archival ink pads, the mini ones, as well as the Beta Press ink pads. Then we have some more archival ink down here. And the next one contains a few more mini ink pads by various brands. And then down here, I keep all of my Perfect Pearls powder, and below that I have drawers filled with die cut pieces. So here is a drawer filled with butterflies die cuts, and down here I have a drawer filled with die cut pearls that I love using to embellish the flap of my envelopes. Then down here I have a few die cut sentiments in Portuguese, and the last one is empty. And then down here, next to the acrylic storage solution that I just showed you on my right, I have these three gray boxes. These are the same boxes that I also keep up there on the last shelf. And inside these boxes, I have extra craft supplies, mainly refills. And inside these boxes, I keep them all sorted out inside plastic container that I used to keep in my kitchen, but now it's in my craft room. So for example, inside this first one, here are the plastic containers with lids, and they all have labels. So for example, this one contains extra tape. So when I run out of tape, the tape that I keep on my desk next to me, I come over here and grab one. I also have another one designated for tape, then another one designated for berries, then hot glue refills, also post-its, refills, and stuff like that. So I keep most of my craft supplies refills inside these three gray boxes. And then on top of these gray boxes, in the center, I keep my Rollo thermal printer that I can use to print out mailing labels. And then on this side, I have three plastic containers that I use to store Christmas die-cut elements. And over here, I have three more boxes that I use to store butterflies, Halloween, and birds die-cut pieces. So I am actually going to bring this over here so I can better show you. All of these boxes have labels, so I can easily find the die-cut pieces that I need for the holidays. And inside each one of these boxes, we have dividers that allow us to easily keep them sorted out. They are removable, so you can customize it. So inside this box, I keep some of my Christmas die-cut elements. Since I love Christmas, I have three boxes designated for Christmas die cuts, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. And this, by the way, definitely makes the process easier, even if you don't assemble the different die cuts. For example, inside this box, only over here on the corner, I have a few nutcrackers ready to go, and everything else is just like different pieces that I need to glue together to make more of this. So just by having the die-cut piece ready to go, even though it's not 100% assembled, definitely makes the process easier, and I love doing so. So these are the containers designated for storing my Christmas die cut elements. And then these are the other 3 that I have for birds, Halloween, and butterflies. So Spellbinders released a very cute die set a long time ago with very cute birds, so one day I simply die cut lots of it using cardstock scraps, and I still use it. So I keep them all sorted out over here by color. Then I have another box for Halloween over here with a few die cut Halloween themed pieces, and over here I keep one of my favorites, butterflies die cuts. I think I used Spellbinders plates, it's an old one, to cut out these pieces, and I really love the different butterflies that we can create. So I have lots of butterflies over here, and again different pieces that still need to be put together to create more of these beautiful butterflies. So this is my second storage solution for ready-to-go die-cut pieces. Now we can go ahead and move on to the other side of my craft room. And last but not least, I'm gonna show you my workstation and the supplies that I have on these shelves above my workstation, as well as inside some of these drawers. And as I mentioned before, this is a very small space and just perfect because everything is within hand's reach, and sometimes I don't even need to get up to get the supplies that I need. So let's now actually begin with the last shelf above my table with a few more of those gray boxes which I use to store supplies that are not crafty related. Then on the shelf below that one, I have a few pretty boxes. I love pretty boxes, so I feel really bad throwing them away, and I decided to keep these boxes because I think they look pretty, and I use them to store pieces of pre-cut cardstock. Then inside these 2 boxes, I use this one. This one is labeled Franci, which is the name of one of my best friends in Brazil. She is also a crafter. So I always keep inside this box sets that I no longer use, so I can bring to her every time I go to Brazil. Then inside this box, I keep some stickers. And this box is actually, there's nothing special inside, nothing is really sorted out. I just keep some of my stickers and embellishments inside this box. And then all the way on this side, next to the window, I have some binders, notebooks, planners, and ESL books that I maybe should study again, and just like random stuff. Actually, I do want to show you one binder, which is this one that I'm gonna bring to my desk. So inside this binder, this is where I keep my stamps, and to keep them organized, I actually purchased these black sheets that I got from Amazon. These are postage stamp album pages, and they are great for helping you keep your stamps organized, especially if you like to collect them. So mine is not really organized, to be honest, but one day I will go over this and make it look nicer. And the nice thing about it is that you can buy these pages with a different pocket size. So this is the smallest one, and here I have the large pockets, and we also have a medium size over here. So this is pretty nice having if you have lots of stamps. So moving on to the last shelf in my craft room, and by the way, one of my favorites since it is so colorful. So over here I have this cute little doll that I use to decorate my craft room, and I love it because if you press this button, it shows a pretty nice message. And behind that, I have a picture of my husband and I. Then over here is my favorite storage solution for hot foil rolls. It actually has 4 different tiers, so I can easily see all of the different colors that I have once I bring this container down to my table. Then moving on over here, right in the center, I have these 2 craft tools holder by Simon Says Stamp, which I love, and I use them to store my Simon Says Stamp brushes. And right over here I have another acrylic spice rack meant to be used in the kitchen, but I would rather use it in my craft room. And it has 3 tiers, so you can easily see all of the different colors of embossing powders. Then moving on to this last section, over here I have another acrylic storage solution, same as the one that I use for the hot foil rolls. As we can see here, it has 4 tiers, and inside this one I store my Nuvo drops, the different colors of Nuvo drops. Then over here I have a picture of my late grandma, and then over here we have this very cute handmade doll that I purchased from a very talented lady in Brazil. And finally, now I'm gonna show you the table that I use to do all of my work, which is this long white one over here, and the craft supplies that I like to have around me to help making the creative process easier and more enjoyable. So right here in the center, I like to keep my Otonu grip mat. I like it so much that I actually have 2 of these, and over there at the end I have my electric die cutting machine. Next to my electric die cutting machine I keep my Spellbinders glimmer machine. Then above that I like to keep a paper roll hanging, just in case I really need it. However, I much rather use a clean cloth that I can always wash and reuse. Then right here in the center I have attached to the wall a clear iPad holder, and I use this iPad to watch movies and series as I create. And below that I have another clear holder. This one is for holding my iPhone and recharging it when I am not using to record tutorial videos. Below that, on my desk, I have these 2 clear acrylic trays, and here I keep my most used crafted tools because I use it all the time. I like having it right in front of me. So right here inside this first one, here I keep my stamp cleaner, my Berly Art glue. I have 2 bottles, then a sanding block. I also like to keep this brush over here that I use to clean up my note cards when I'm done. And right over here I have this salt lamp that I usually turn on when I am in this room. And inside this second tray I have this spray bottle by Spellbinders, which I love, and inside I have water. I also like to have my glossy accents handy because I like using it a lot. I have 2 shimmer spray options, gold and silver. I also have another homemade shimmer spray that I made by mixing water with Perfect Pearls. I also have alcohol over here, a few more glue options, the Gina K Connect and the Berly Art glue that I transferred to this tiny bottle, another Gina K Connect glue, a lip balm, and that's it for this tray. Then right here I have this very fun pen holder that I use to store many different types of craft supplies. And in this fun organizer it has actually many different sections like this, so I can keep everything sorted out. So over here I keep regular pens and highlighters. Then I have my most used tools over here, such as bond folders, a pick, my craft knives, and a wax pencil. Then inside this next section I have many different brushes, a T-ruler by Simon Says Stamp, and an electric eraser. Here on this next section I keep all of my gel pens, and inside the next section I keep a few more specialty markers. And over here I have a few other fancy pens, such as these 2 shimmer pens that I use all the time. And last but not least, over here I have 3 paper organizers that I stacked them up. I got 2 in white and 1 in black because they didn't have a third one in white, which is fine. I actually like the white and black combo. So on the top section of these 3 layers storage solution, I like to keep my Spellbinders cardstock swatches that I created a long time ago before they came up with the new colors this year. So some of these colors are no longer available, but I still like using these to decorate my craft room. Then over here I have this square acrylic box that I bought a long time ago, and inside I keep the color catalog book pages that I printed out and laminated. So before she came up with the color blocks, I had already thought about it. So I printed out all the pages in smaller size, laminated one by one, and cut them out and rounded the corners. So it was a lot of work, but totally worth it. So I have the mini pages of the color catalog inside this acrylic box. In the back, I have my reed diffuser, which I love. And over here, I have this holder for my air plant that my husband got me for my last birthday. And I absolutely love it. So here is a closer look. I think it's the cutest plant ever. Then moving on to the second layer, here I keep all of my die cut and hot foiled sentiments. So whenever I need a sentiment and I am in a hurry, I can easily grab one from one of these pages. So these are actually the pages that I showed you earlier for storing stamps. And I like using them to store die cut sentiments. So all of my die cut and hot foil sentiments are nicely stored inside these pages, and I just love how easy it is to keep them stored nicely and safe, and at the same time so easy to grab one whenever I need it. So I like keeping some of these pages on this paper organizer instead of inside a binder, because I think that it is just easier to just pull them out and grab the sentiment that I need. And here on the last layer, I have two small paper boxes, and inside this one, I keep all of the small leftover pieces of foil that I can always use later to hot foil a small image or a small sentiment. And then inside this one, I keep some of my Misty Stampin' Tool accessories. So now I'm gonna show you the sets of drawers that I have on both sides of my table, beginning with this side. So over here, I have two sets of 3 plastic drawers. They are very long, and I use all of the 6 drawers to store leftover pieces of cardstock, and I try to sort them out by color, but not really, because I only have 6 different drawers. So on the top one, I keep my leftover pieces of white cardstock, and then the second one I use to store my leftover pieces of specialty cardstock, such as metallic ones and glitter ones, so nothing goes to waste. Then on the third one, I keep my pinks and purples cardstock scraps. Down here I have blues and greens, then reds and oranges in the back, and I use the last one to store blacks, browns and gray cardstock. So this is what I keep inside these drawers. Then on the side, by the way, it's ugly, so I'm not going to show you, but I have this organizer that I use to keep all of my washi tapes. So this is all of the washi tapes that I have, and I just keep it on the side. By the way, on both sides, over the set of drawers on the top, I actually keep a very long acrylic tray, and inside this one I store all of the different types of adhesive that I use, such as the Spellbinders black and white squares. Then I have the Best Ever Craft Tape by Spellbinders, some of foam adhesive over here, and I also have double-sided tape over here, and a few tape runners over here, post-it pages, and so on. Then on the side over here, since I have some extra room, this is where I store my large Misty Stampin' Tool, and I love keeping it over here because I can easily grab it whenever I need it. I also keep my Beta Press system by Spellbinders over here. And I also have another plastic pocket that I use to store all of the sticky mats and accessories for doing the stenciling technique. Then down here above this set of plastic drawers, I have 2 more plastic containers. I think I got these from Michaels. They are a little bit bigger than the ones that I showed you earlier. They also have dividers inside. The only difference is that these dividers are not removable, and I use these to store more die-cut pieces. And then over here I have a pretty cute binder, but it is empty, so there is nothing to show you. And now moving on to the other side of my table, which is the side next to the window. Here I have another 2 sets of 3 plastic drawers, and on top I have another clear acrylic tray, and inside this one I keep some random tools that I find myself reaching all the time, such as these small triangle trays that I use when I'm working with embellishments. Then I have this corner rounder by Spellbinders. I have this anti-static powder by Simon Says Stamp, some lotion, and some acrylic blocks, and a few other random stuff in the back that is not so pretty, but very handy to have around. And then on the side, before I show you what's inside these drawers, on the side over this first shelf I keep my plates, the cutting plates that I use to die cut with the Impress die cutting machine, the electric one. And I also like to keep my large scoring board over here. And then down here I like to keep my smaller size paper trimmer over this second set of drawers. And this binder is a very special one, but I'm gonna show this one last. So let's now go over what's inside these drawers. So inside this first one that is on my right when I am crafting, I have a drawer with 3 long clear organizers, and inside this first one I like to keep all of my self-lock tweezers. I like having lots of these because these are very handy tools to have. Inside the second one I keep my erasers, the sand eraser and the glue eraser, and a few other supplies over here. And in the back, inside the third one, I have just random crafty supplies such as a washi tape, a brush, and some blades by Spellbinders. Then inside the second drawer, this is where I keep my scissors. So I have my Spellbinders scissors over here and a few other ones over here, along with some crafty tools that I can use. And inside this third drawer, this is my favorite because this is where I keep some of my embellishments. I like to keep my embellishments inside these clear containers that I got from Amazon. And I also have a few more embellishments down here. By the way, these containers, they come in 3 different sizes, which I think is just great. And inside this other drawer I have more embellishments and sequins, and I also keep my googly eyes inside this drawer. I also have empty containers in the back, so actually I always like having extra room for new supplies, so that's why those are in the back and empty. Last but not least, this is my least used drawer. Here I keep some random brushes that I use once in a while. I actually need to go over this and decide if I really need this, because right now it feels like it is just a waste of space. So now let me show you what's inside this very special binder, and I actually gonna bring it to my table. So inside this binder I actually store all of the note cards that my grandmother made She gave these to me before she passed away. She was my dad's mom, and when she was younger, she used to make all of these beautiful projects herself. This is all handmade, and I think it is just beautiful. So I decided to just transfer all of her projects to a new binder. She used to keep them in a older binder, and she will give these note cards once in a while for a grandchild to celebrate their birthday or something. So this is just gorgeous, but super old, so it's very delicate. They are mostly made out of vellum or something like that, and she used to perforate each one of these patterns, and it's just, I think it's just amazing. I mean, it is like 100% handmade. This is before stamping and die cutting. So this is very special to me, and I have actually recorded a video showing the organization process of these beautiful projects. By the way, she also gave me some really old embellishments that I keep in these organizers, but I don't think I'll ever use it because I don't want to waste it. So this is the type of embellishment that she used to add to her projects. I don't know what's made of, but I know it breaks easily. So this is all that I have for today, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video and getting to know my happy space. Actually, before we go, I actually want to show you how I record my videos for YouTube in case you're curious. So usually I am sitting down over here and I record my videos using my iPhone, and I actually use this holder that I got from Amazon. So I always have my iPhone over here with the camera facing down as I create, and as I record my videos, I am usually watching a movie on the iPad that I have attached to this wall, and that's it, nothing fancy. I know this is a very long video and I do apologize for that. However, I wanted to share as many tips as possible with you in case you are looking for new storage solutions for your space. By the way, if some of the supplies that I used to organize my space are still available, I will make sure to list them all in the description box down below in case you're interested. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me and watching this video until the end. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, take care, and I hope to see you again soon.